In the Hindu scriptures, the experience is described in more detail than in Christian scriptures, and we're told that you should be able to feel vibrations emitting from the crown of your head once you have the awakening, which like a cool wind, and you should also feel them on your hands. And in Muslim scriptures it's described as the ruh. And Muhammad said, I believe, that at this time people would become enlightened and their hands would speak. And once you have the experience of the awakening, your fingers become sensitive to the vibrations in yourself and in other people, and you can tell exactly what the condition of each person is and how their chakras are working, or if there's a problem there. And because the vibrations flow through through our hands and through our body and emit through our head, if you sit with your hands in this position, you'll probably start to feel the awakening coming while Mother's talking. And it's something that takes you beyond thought. You don't have to think about it or have a great intellectual understanding to appreciate it. In fact, children probably appreciate it more than most of us adults at first, because it is such a true experience. So if you would just be receptive and not try and think or worry about any words that seem a little bit different to what you're used to hearing. Just enjoy the experience. Thank you.
I won't keep you any longer. Shri Mataji has arrived in Perth from what is an extensive overseas tour, and I've been with her now for the best part of 2 months, and we've been visiting many, many countries, and at last she's come to my own country, which is Australia. Perth, of course, is the gateway to Australia, and I never see, although I'm from Sydney, I never see Sydney as the gateway. To me, the West is where so much begins today. There are so many seekers here. Perth has very beautiful vibrations because we feel these vibrations, and Mataji herself has commented what beautiful seekers there are in this city. There is seeking in each one of us, and Lyndall has spoken very sweetly about that seeking, that urge that we want to be something higher, that we want to achieve something beyond this human existence, the confusion and the frustration that we face from time to time, not only from time to time, but probably in most of our daily life. Shri Mataji is the one who can take you beyond this. As she said, beyond thought, but the experience of self-realization is something which you begin to perceive in your central nervous system. You become an enlightened being, and the process is one of growth from that point onwards to the full experience of self-realization. It's an actualization, in other words. It's a spontaneous happening that occurs. She often says that on the tree of life, at first there were just a few flowers that turned to fruit. Now it's the blossom time, and the flowers are everywhere, and all of them have to turn to fruit. This is what it is now, and the grace of God is overflowing in such a way that all of us can achieve that next step, that last jump in our awareness. We can become a spiritual being. We can be beyond thought, and yet we can use thought. We can be beyond emotion, and yet we can still enjoy and feel emotion. In other words, we become the spirit. And this is the purpose of Mother's visit. We call her Mother. Mataji means the Divine Mother. She's known throughout the world as that being who has come on the earth to just do one job. That is to awaken the subtle energy that lies in the sacrum at the base of the spine, and when that energy rises, very sweetly and very painlessly, the actualization of your second birth takes place. Christ has spoken about it, as she said. Muhammad spoke of it. All the great prophets and saints have spoken about it, and now the time has come. It seems too hard to believe, but this is what is happening to thousands of people. Already in Australia, on the East Coast, in the other cities, Sahaja Yoga is well established. I can see from the audience here that it's going to be well established from now on in Perth. So without any further introduction from me, I'd like to introduce to you Her Holiness Shri Mataji Nirmala Devi. I think you're connected to the mains.
I bow to all the seekers of truth. It's very nice to come back to Australia for the second time. And last time, I could not come to Perth. I did not know that it was such a beautiful city with such beautiful spiritual vibration. What Lyndall has talked to you, or Dr. Warren has told you, is the knowledge of the roots. Now, what we know through science or through our human senses is the knowledge of the tree that we see, obviously before. But this is the knowledge of the root. And if you have to nourish the plant, you have to water the roots. No use just plucking up some flowers or some leaves and treating them with something artificial. This knowledge can only be achieved if you can somehow or other go to the roots. For example, you are paying attention to me just now. But if I say, please pay attention to yourself, you cannot do it. You'll say, how, Mother? How to do it? So something has to happen within you which should attract your attention inside so that you can get your attention which is outside in connection with the spirit. And the attention then can be enlightened by the spirit. So to know the knowledge of this root, you have to become something more than a human being. Even Darwin, who did not believe in God, did say very clearly that if man has come so far, he has to go little further to explain himself. But as he did not try, the knowledge of the roots, whatever he said, was about what he saw apparently outside. To become the subtle has to be something very spontaneous. Has to be something very spontaneous. It cannot be done by thinking or by reading. Some people believe that if we read, we will go to God. Or if we think about God, we will go to God. It's not true. If it was so, why did Christ say that you are to be born again? Why did all of them say that some transformation has to take place within you? Even Buddha has said that you have to get your self-realization. Without that, he would not talk about God. So something has to happen within us to transform us. The other idea people have is, beg pardon? All right, come along tomorrow. All right? May God bless. So something has to happen within us which is spontaneous. Because if our spiritual ascent has been the result of a living process, the further movement has to be living again. So we have to understand, first point, logically we should understand what we should expect about self-realization, that it has to be spontaneous. You cannot work it out. You cannot become. You became human being spontaneously from amoeba stage to this stage. And if you have to become something more, it has to be spontaneous by the force which resides within you. Like the force that resides in a seed which spontaneously becomes germinated when it is put in the Mother Earth. If you read a book, you cannot do it. If you stand on your head, you can't do it. If you jump, you do what you like, it's not going to happen. You have to put it in the womb of the Mother Earth so that the seed should be germinated. It's the capacity of the Mother Earth, it's the quality of the Mother Earth that gives that spontaneous germination to a seed. Now, every day in life, we see so many living things happening, like a flower becoming a fruit. But we take it for granted. We don't understand that we cannot transform a flower into a fruit. We cannot do anything that is living. What we can do is the dead work. If a tree dies, all right, so we make a beautiful furniture. Or something dead is converted into another form of dead, which also deaden us with habits. So the work of the divine, all the all-pervading power of love of God is living work of the living God. And that power, we know it exists, but we are not aware of it, and we cannot feel it on the central nervous system. When people talk about the all-pervading power, it's a mystery. They talk about the Holy Ghost, this is another mystery. Everything seems to be a mystery before you have got your realization. For example, this instrument is made and is not connected to the mains. It's a mystery. Nobody knows what is it for, what's the purpose of this instrument is. But once it is put to the mains, you start seeing how fantastic it is, how tremendous it is. One can't believe when they say that in Sahaja Yoga you receive all these powers of your own. One can't believe it, because they think, how can it be possible? But for your information, you are a fantastic being made by God. And this is the instrument that is lying within you in a subtle form. Now when I am talking to you, you have to know one more thing, that you should keep an open mind to listen to me, like a scientist does. It's a hypothesis for you and it's truth for me. All right. If it is proved to be truth for you, then you should go forward with it and try to understand how the truth is being established logically within you. At the very outset, I have seen people have doubts about the divine. They start asking, Mother, how is it possible that we can get it so easily? How one can get realization so easily? We have to do cleansing, we have to suffer, we have to do this. Perhaps you do not know that when we use an electric switch, we do not think what has gone in the history, what people have suffered in the history in creating that little switch. It has taken ages for this switch to come up, to discover the electricity, the working of it, and the whole development of electrical appliances till we got to the switch. Now we only know we have to switch on and we get the lights. But when I say that you don't have to do anything else, you are not to suffer, you must know somebody has suffered for you on the cross. Somebody has done the cleansing part of it. And you cannot cleanse yourself unless and until you are out of it. If you have to cleanse your car, you have to get out of it. That is why, first of all, you must get your self-realization, the light of your being, the purpose of your life, the absolute. She has already explained to you the chart, that is the instrument, the subtle instrument that is within you. Now here the chart is showing you all the different centers, but these centers are manifested also in the gross as plexuses. We have first of all the Muladhara chakra. This chakra is the center which controls actually the pelvic plexus, through which all our excretion takes place. Is a very important center. Muladhara means the support of the root. Is the support of the root. Is the center of the support of the root. Is a very, very important center because this represents our innocence. In the subtle, it is the innocence in us which looks after this center. Through our ignorance or through our naiveness, we lose our innocence. But actually innocence can never be lost, only it is tarnished or covered by our stupidity maybe, by our wrongdoings to ourselves. It exists all the time, and when the Kundalini rises, which is above that, which is coiled up into 3.5 coils, this chakra becomes aware of itself. The deity of innocence within it gets awakened and one starts feeling the innocence within one personality. The Kundalini itself, this residual power of desire, is placed in the triangular bone. The triangular bone is the bone called as sacrum. It's a Greek word meaning sacred. So the Greek knew that this triangular bone contained something sacred. And when I went to Greece and asked them, how is it you call it sacred? They said there has been a report, Indo-Aryan report, much before Alexander, where we came to know about this bone, that it is a sacred bone and it has a special power within it. Now this Kundalini is a power which is the pure desire. This is the power of pure desire. While the other, if you see the blue line, the left side power within us, which starts from the right at the back and goes to the left, is the power of desire, but not pure desire, because this can be made impure. And all other desires, but the desire to be one with the divine, are corruptible, can be wrong, can be confusing. As you know, in economics, it is said that no desire is satiable in general, because you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, then you want to buy that and buy another thing. You are never satisfied with matter. So, this desire, which is lying in the sacrum bone, absolutely in its pure form, the pure desire to be one with the divine, is the one that gives you ultimate satisfaction and joy. It is so spontaneous that if people ask me how you do it, it's going to be difficult to explain at this level how it is done. As you cannot explain how a seed germinates and how it becomes a tree. All living things cannot be explained, only to be seen and to be felt within yourself. I will be able to tell you tomorrow more about these centers, what are these centers and what are they related to you. In any case, I hope you have the books now when you go. You can take these books with you and read them at home and see for yourself if you can understand what's written in those books. But here today, as an introduction, I would like to tell you certain questions always people have in their mind. For example, there have been many fake gurus coming from India, and they have been enticing many people abroad. And most of the newspaper people ask me about them. So I have to tell that you, of course, can blame these fake gurus. No doubt that they are sinister, they have been devilish, they have been money-oriented, I agree. But also that a seeker has to use his brains and must understand what he is seeking. If he just blindfolded go to these gurus, then what can one do about it? It's very sad because they are so naive. They must understand what we are seeking, what we are expecting, and what should happen to us. Now, some people don't understand that you cannot pay for God. You have not paid anything for becoming a human being. He doesn't understand money. Money is created only by human beings. God has not created money. He doesn't understand money at all. You cannot purchase God. You cannot purchase this knowledge. You cannot purchase your realization. None of the things that are related with God can be purchased with money. Anybody who tries to take money from you in the name of God is a parasite. Not only a parasite, but I would say a person who is anti-God, because that is how he is maligning the name of God. It cannot be purchased, it cannot be sold, it cannot be organized, it cannot be maneuvered. We cannot have an organization of God. We cannot organize him. He is the way he is. We cannot tell him, now you come along every Sunday to our church. He won't. It is his desire if he wants to do it or if he doesn't want to do it. The only thing that binds God is love, dedication and truthfulness. If you are truthful, if you are dedicated, then God is interested in you. If you are not, he is not at all interested in people who are seeking not God but something else. But what is most unfortunate, that the people who are misled are all seekers of God. They are all seekers of truth. They are true people. They are honest. They are dedicated and they are exploited. So again I would say, anybody who takes money in the name of God, please see that that is not God. Please. As a mother, I am warning you that one has to understand any saint who takes money in the name of God is not a person who is to be regarded as a divine personality. By no chance a saint. Now secondly, As I told you, you cannot put in an effort, it is a spontaneous happening. Now, one of the arguments people have, that in such and such book, XYZ, this is written. In the other book, so and so, this is written. Another fellow who was such and such has said so. It's very easy to dwell upon such sayings and on such books. I would request you to be here at this moment with me, to understand what I have to say. If you bring in other people, I'll have to tell you the facts about them, which you may not like, which will not be palatable, will create a controversy for nothing at all. Because we are not here to create any controversies. We are here to achieve our goal of self-realization for our betterment. Once you understand this, that the main interest is of the divine, and that is that you all should get your self-realization. We have known that we have become human beings. But we have never asked a question. No scientist has asked a question. Why have we become a human being? Why are we on this earth moving with these 2 legs and 2 feet in this fashion? What is the speciality? Why God has made us in such a beautiful way that we are called as human beings? If you ask this question to yourself, you won't be able to say that there is any purpose in what God has done to us. But I say there is a purpose. The purpose is that you have to become the instrument of God. You have to become the carrier of His power. When the Kundalini rises and breaks through your 7th chakra here, then it is amazing how you feel this all-pervading power as cool breeze in your hand. But that's not sufficient. If you feel the cool breeze, supposing I give you a car or any instrument, and I don't tell you how to drive it, it's useless. But if you learn the complete decoding of this feeling, of this all-pervading power, you can do great things because God has put these powers within you. Only the light has to come in. Without the light, as you cannot see anything properly, you cannot integrate anything, correlate anything. In the same way, when there is no light within yourself, you are not integrated within. Nor you understand absolute things. What you understand are relative things. With our mind projection, whatever we do is all relative. That's why we are having problems about our politics, about our economics, about our every sort of thing that we are doing. Our development also has been very one-sided in the sense that our material development has taken place without the spirit in it. Anything without the spirit is something like a tree growing, outgrowing its size much more than the roots, and that's how sometimes we always are worried and shocked at the destruction that is facing us from within and without. We see diseases like cancer and other horrible diseases which we cannot combat. We see the problems of the nations and political, economic crisis, and we don't understand how to control it on individual basis. All these things can only be solved if you become the spirit. The spirit is within you, the link with the whole. Like the microcosm, the whole, you are a part and parcel of that. Like my finger is part and parcel of the whole. Now, if there's any pain in my finger, I can feel the whole. In the same way, once I become aware of my spirit, I can feel the whole. I become collectively conscious. I do not talk about it. I do not say that you are now brothers and sisters, but it just happens that on your fingertips you start feeling others very clearly. Their centers, their problems, your problems, and also you know methods how to clear it out. Compassion, people talk of giving compassion, looking after people and doing good to them. But this compassion talks. It doesn't solve the problem. But the compassion that flows from you works. It works out. It helps people in a way that they are not aware of it. For example, in India, we had one Indian who got realization in a village. He was a farmer, he went back, and he gave realization to so many people that it is unbelievable how he could manage such a lot of population to come to Sahaja Yoga. But he told me that certain incidents, like a man came to me and he was an alcoholic. And he came to me and he was about to beat me. And I was very quiet. I just told him, now don't beat me, sit down for a while. He sat down, and after some time I awakened his kundalini. Overnight he gave up alcohol. Overnight he gave it. He became like a king. He said, what? I'm not going to drink anymore. It's not mental, but just he achieved his supreme thing, the highest thing, his purpose. And the whole being got glorified. So you start feeling your own powers. Actually, when you go to any guru, you must also find out from the disciples if they have achieved any powers or not. It is not important if a guru says, I am such and such. For example, the lady who came to interview me, she said, do you think you are the highest saint of India? No, I said, I never said so. But the saints in India do say so. All right. If you believe in it or not makes no difference. It is for you to find out. But leave alone me. Why not find out about yourself? What happens to you? Supposing you become the saint. Supposing you have the powers. Supposing you manifest that compassion which I am talking. Then you have to believe that there is something about yourself. First of all, you all must have faith in yourself that you are capable of becoming that self which is collectively conscious to begin with, which is the source of all the joy, health, wealth, and all kinds of satisfaction, and the one which is the witness of the play of divine, the one that allows you to transmit this divine power to others. After realization, for example, Dr. Warren himself was very reluctant in the beginning. He was a difficult person to begin with. Then he got his realization. And after realization, he was quite satisfied because he had been to so many gurus. There's no guru he has not been. And he was so angry and aggressive when he came to Sahaj. When he got into realization, he just felt that he has found it. Now, through him, in Australia, we have established so many centers and so many people have got realization. It's a surprising thing that one man who reluctantly came to me on a telephone number has suddenly become such an enlightened person that he has given realization to so many people, and to whom he has given realization have also given realization to so many others. Apart from that, they have cured diseases like cancer and all kinds of serious diseases we talk about. It's a fact. For this you cannot pay. That's one thing for sure. You cannot pay for it. It's all free. As this nature is free to give you everything that is essential and vital within you. In the same way, this knowledge has to be without any effort. Supposing if we have to learn about breathing, going to a library, how many of us would suffice? It is so vital that it has to be the easiest, the simplest, and everything that is living is so simple that we don't also bother to think about it. We take all this for granted. The subject is very wide. It has many aspects and dimensions. First, when the Kundalini rises, it crosses through this center, which is called as the Agya Chakra, which is the chakra of our Lord Jesus Christ. Tomorrow, I'll be telling you the names of all the deities who reside on these centers. Now, it is difficult for a scientist to accept that there are deities who are sitting on these chakras. But Socrates and Confucius, who were such ancient people, have talked about these gods, that we have to keep them pleased and you have to keep them all right. But those realized souls perhaps did not know. That's not easy to convince human beings who are not realized souls about these deities being within you. And they are all just waiting there. As soon as the Kundalini rises, you start manifesting your grandeur, your great personality that awaits you. This is something not fantastic to me, because I have seen thousands of people getting realization. Thousands of them feeling the cool breeze. Thousands of them transforming. Another thing one has to see in a person, in a guru, when you go to a guru, that is this the man giving any transformation to another person? Here they are smuggling, they are telling lies, they are killing people, and they have a guru. How can you have a guru when you are doing all these anti-God activities? All kinds of anti-God activities they are doing. They are hot-tempered, they are liars, they are intriguers, all sorts of things they will be doing, and they will be saying that we have a guru. What's the use of such a guru who allows you to do all these things? It's better not to have such a guru who allows you to do that. Secondly, a guru, if you have a real one, he has to look after your health, minimum of minimum. But if you go to a guru and if you get epilepsy, or if you go to a guru and you get a bad head or some sort of a headache, then he says, all right, these are your sins, you better suffer. So one should ask a question to such a guru, that then why are you there? Why are we paying you for? If you can't even look after our health, what are we paying you for? There could be a guru who can teach you something like, he'll say that I'll make you fly. So you must ask the guru to fly himself. If the guru can fly, then you pay him. What's the use of paying a guru who just says you can fly? All right, you give me 6,000 pounds, I'll make you fly. Better ask the guru to fly and see that he flies. But people are so identified with the gurus that despite they become absolutely bankrupt, finished, gone cases, still they stick on to these gurus because they are mesmerized. They don't want to have their own self-realization. They don't want to have their own powers, but they want to abide by the so-called powers of their guru and all these things. They become absolutely hopeless cases, gone cases, good for nothing, lost people. But still they'll stick on to these people and will continue with it till they are perished as useless cabbages. It's a very common thing I've seen of some of the people who teach that you must starve. No, you must starve. And the guru eats well, but all the disciples are starving and suffering. There's one thing more in Sahaja Yoga, you are not supposed to suffer anymore. There's no need to suffer. Christ has suffered. He suffered for us. Now no more suffering is needed for any one of you. Tomorrow I'll tell you how when Christ is awakened, you can feel your so-called karmas and your so-called egos and all that just are sucked in. Here, as you will see, an ego is created with this right side power called as the Kriya Shakti, is the power of action. And when it moves further and further and touches the other side, which is the super ego, then in the center here on the fontanelle bone area, a calcification takes place. And when that happens, you develop your I-ness. You become I, Mr. Second I, Mr. Third I. Now this is like an egg, we can say, which has to be transformed into a bird. In Sanskrit, a realized soul is called as Vijaha, means twice born. And also a bird is called as twice born. In the same way, a human being, which looks so insipid, so boring, so useless, sometimes he also condemns himself for nothing at all. Sometimes you find him so bombastic, so egoistical, so horrible, so aggressive. All these people are nothing but these little eggs. Only thing what one has to do is to transform them into the bird. The bird that is a free bird, which understands what is wrong with you, what is wrong with others, and how to correct yourself. Because the spirit is the master, is the guru. Your spirit is your master. You are your own master. You become your own master and you start understanding everything one by one. I am just your mother. I'll decode for you. I'll tell you what is what is this. Once you understand that and you start finding it out, you yourself will be amazed that not only that you can cure yourself, you can raise your own kundalini, you can work it out on yourself and keep your transformation moving further and further, but you become entitled, endowed with powers that you can give realizations to others. You can do all these things by yourself. And it is such a remarkable thing which must be achieved. Because if you see the condition of this world today, It is in a very big mess. I don't know if people understand it, what we are facing. We are just like the tree, as I told you, which has lost its roots. And any time we can be destroyed. It is very important today that all of us must seek and find the Spirit. Everybody who has told this, they were not liars. They are not telling us wrong things. Traditionally, everyone has said the same thing. Now, these gurus can also start some untraditional stuff, and people believe it because it is something new. This is the higher evolution of a person where you arrive at a point where you become the witness of the play of the whole game. For example, a thought rises and falls off. Another thought rises and falls off. Between this thought, there is a little space, and this space is the present. Why? We live in the present or the past. But we live in the present. We don't live in the present, but we live in the future or in the past. Now, the past doesn't exist because it's over, and the present doesn't exist at all. So our thoughts are all the time moving like that. If somehow you can stop yourself at the point that is the present, then you start enjoying the dynamics of every moment which you live. And that's what is achieved through Kundalini awakening. As I told you, this subject matter is very great. In an introduction, I have tried to cover lots of points which people have been asking me all over the world. And if you have any new points to ask me, I'll be very happy to answer you. Tomorrow, I'll tell you actually what happens when the Kundalini rises. I would like you to ask me questions, and after that, we will have the session of realization, which may take hardly 10 to 15 minutes. May God bless you. Can I have questions from you? You have a question?
Anyone with questions? This is the best way to open the talk.
Did you say the mind is the spirit?
Did you say the mind is the spirit?
No. Tomorrow I'll tell you the difference, but if you want, I'll tell you. Mind and spirit are two different. In English language, what we call mind is a confusing thing. But it's simple to understand. Now here you see is an institution which looks like a blue balloon in the head. That is the mind. It is created by the action of the power of desire, which we call in psychology as superego, which is the result of all our conditioning, is the mind. You can call it manasa. In Sanskrit language is manasa. Now on the right side, the yellow colored line you see ends up into another yellow colored institution, is a result or a byproduct of our activity, physical and through our brain, which we call as mental. This creates an institution called ego. So we have got superego as well as ego. Supposing you tell somebody, don't do like this, it is not to be done, you have to be disciplined like that. Then if you go too much with it, then conditioning takes place in a person. And these conditionings are expressed as a balloon there, which is a byproduct of conditioning. And the another one is the byproduct of our activity, which is mental as well as physical. So we have two things. One is the manasa, is mana. I don't know, in English it is called as mind, but it is confusion because they call a mental case to a madman. And when you work through your brain, you call it a mental activity. So I would suggest that if the confusion has to be understood properly. What happens? A man who works on his brain too much gets a heart attack. It's surprising. He should get something wrong there. But no, he gets a heart attack. A man who works for the future through his mental capacity gets a heart attack. There is a balance. And the man who works with his emotions too much gets this brain which is degenerated. So you call it mental. So because of this, the confusion is there. Because of the balance, it's surprising that in a mental hospital, you don't need anything to find out about heart, like cardiograph and all that is not needed, because a mental case never gets a heart attack normally. So because of this confusion, people call a mental case to a person who actually uses his emotional side. So for all our purposes, we use a pure word called superego and ego. Now apart from that, we have got spirit, and the spirit is in the heart. It is the reflection of God Almighty. Another thing we have got down below is the Kundalini. Kundalini is the reflection of the Holy Ghost, and Holy Ghost is the all-pervading power of God's will. So that's how we have these four things separated. Another thing we have got, which is the attention, which is sustained by our memory. So now you understand we have a heart, we have an ego and superego, and we have got that power which is sleeping, which is to be awakened within us, which is called as Kundalini. In the Bible also it is said that I will appear before you like tongues of flames. And what you see really are these centers when they are enlightened. They look like tongues of flames of different colors as shown in the picture. But ultimately, the 1,000-petal lotus here has many colors, all the 7 colors of the rain. I hope it is clear to you. So far, our spirit has not come into our attention. Yes, please.
You said every night the Kundalini power awakened too quickly.
Is there any danger in the Kundalini
That
power
question-
being awakened too quickly?
I'm sorry, I should have tackled this question everyone asks. It's true. Because so many books have been written about Kundalini, which are horrifying things. And there is no danger at all. Kundalini is your own mind. She bears all the dangers. She bears all the troubles for you. She is your own mind. She is just waiting for a moment to give you a realization when there is somebody who does the job. But those people who are about Kundalini, I have seen one book so big, I was amazed how these people could write about Kundalini, all this nonsense in such a big book, which has no relevance at all to the state of Kundalini, to the nature of Kundalini, even to the seat of Kundalini. They are so confused. But the realm of God, everybody tries to handle. It's the sad part that everyone tries to handle that realm. And they can say whatever they like. There is no danger at all. We have given realization to thousands and thousands of people. Of course, when the Kundalini is rising, if you have any opposition within yourself due to a disease or trouble, maybe little bit you might feel hot in the hand, but nothing more than that or less than that. It's a very beautiful experience, very pleasant and great pleasure to me. Yes?
Is it there at birth? Is the Kundalini energy present at birth?
Yes, about 2 months or so when you are in the fetus, it enters into your being. It is present there throughout.
Is it present before birth?
No, not before birth, how can it be present? You see, in the sense that in the womb it is present. It is in the womb of the mother as a fetus it does, but before the fetus is formed, how can it be present? There has to be something to be present in. So it is there, when the fetus is about 2 months of age, it starts expressing itself there. It is there. All right?
4. Should we practice anything?
I see.
Should they practice anything for tomorrow? Could I make an announcement about the workshop?
All right.
We hadn't told you, but tomorrow during the day we've got a workshop for those that would like to come along. It may be a little inconvenient, but for those that would like to come along, there's a place where you can...
Today we'll work it out also.
You can come along, but we'll make an announcement at the end of the program. The answer is yes, but Mataji will show you at the end of the lecture after you've had the experience.
Seems to be a great secret. Is there any other question, please?
Is the spontaneous Kundalini awakening, other than accidental awakenings, is it relatively new, created only by you?
Is this spontaneous awakening, as opposed to the more dangerous awakening that occurs by some people, due to your power?
It's very embarrassing. It is not dangerous at all, that's all I can say. But you have got your own power. Now say for example, if there is a light, a candle that is enlightened, alright? And if it has to enlighten another light, is it the power of this candle that you will say that is enlightened? Because the candle itself is ready. This candle is enlightened, it just touches the another candle and that candle gets enlightened by itself because it is just ready.
I understand it's not an ego thing with you, but so many of the yoga teachings are periods of study and endeavour. Hopefully the Kundalini will eventually arise, and sometimes this topic will be in the next slide.
He said from the reading, and traditionally it's said that Kundalini rises slowly and it has to be the result of certain things, and I think he's a little puzzled how it can be now in your presence.
Have you read Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya? He's the master of this, alright? But he says that mother can do it. That's it. You have to find out about myself. Alright, I better not tell you. To be tactful, one should not talk about oneself. It's a dangerous thing. Christ just said, I am the light, I am the path of people crucified. Just see. You dare not say anything about yourself. If you say, they will just struggle. It's better to keep quiet. I'll do what I have to do, then you find out about me. Alright? I don't want to say anything because if I say anything, you'll feel hurt.
But please don't misunderstand me. I'm not questioning you.
I cannot.
I'm trying to find out about this teaching of spontaneous company. I personally am a devotee of Kriya Yoga.
Yoga.
Kriya,
Kriya.
No. Alright, I understand.
You receive Kriya.
Now, I tell you what, Kriya Yoga is against spontaneous. It's agree with you completely. And by Kriya Yoga, you cannot make realization. There is no Kriya Yoga. In no traditional book it is written. No traditional. This is a new thing started by people. They used to even cut the tongues of people, say that you put it back here, put the ketchup, do all kinds of things. There are many people in India who have their tongues wagging like dogs who have to be doing Kriya. There is no such thing is needed at all. It is spontaneous, it is within you, you don't have to do anything about it, that is what it is. Absolutely. You don't have to do anything, you don't have to stand on your head or nothing at all. It's just simple. So Kriya Yoga is not Sahaja. Is not Sahaja means, Saha means with and Ja is born. It's spontaneous. It is a spontaneous thing, you don't have to do anything about it. Nothing. But once you get it, you can give it to others. It's like if you know how to swim and if there's somebody who does not know and he's getting drowned, what you tell that person that you keep quiet just now, I'll take you to the shore. Then you are brought to the shore and you teach him how to swim and then he can save others also. But the one who does not know how to swim, has to do nothing for the time being, just to get his realization, mature in it, and then give realization to others. No kriya is needed at all inside. Actually, it is not at all traditional. It is a very recent stuff that has come. If you read Kabir Das, if you read Adi Shankaracharya in the 6th century, if you read other people, Markandeya in the 14th century, you will be amazed that they have said the same thing what I am saying. This is traditional, but these new gurus came up and they started talking about this and that, but it is not so. Nobody has achieved realization by kriya. I have not met one. On the contrary, they come to me as patients. I must say, I am sorry to say, but it is so. People have spent so much money. From India, they have gone all the way to America to do kriya yoga, and they are just suffering. Nobody has achieved it. So now, whatever you have done is finished. Now you be interested in yourself and in yourself. Just forget it, whatever you have done. Now what you have to do is to just get your realization and work it out. Forget it, whatever you have been doing, because you have not yet achieved the result. So forget it and see for yourself without any kriya you receive it or not. It is all described, but the trouble is all Sanskrit books which are authentic are not being translated. So it's not traditional at all. Christ never said you have to do anything like that. Nobody has said it. Everybody has talked of spontaneous happening. Even Martin Luther, when he tried to change people from Catholicism, he talked of spontaneity. He was also realized so, but later on his followers tried to make a mess of everything. In the same way, Christ also talked to the saints. Did they say that you have to stand on your head, cut your tongues, put them back, push it back? All these things are absolutely not good. It's very harmful. One should never do it. So let us have now the experiment. Alright? All of you are serious. Now forget what you have been doing, what is done, forget it. Because you have to be kind to yourself, be truthful to yourself. You have to be yourself. I am the only person who is saying that you have to get to it. If you don't get it, I will not rest, and you should not rest. If I have patience for you, you should also have patience for yourself. Don't be angry with anyone. Don't be angry with yourself. Don't be angry with your gurus. Whatever has happened, doesn't matter. You'll be amazed. I am myself. Get surprised the way divine is forgiving. Whatever you might have done, whatever may be the problems, it works. It works. Really it works. It's something so amazing. It is better that you see to it that you get it. Because you are seekers of ages. This is not a life you have been seeking. You have been seeking for ages. And today the time has come. That's why you are here to get it. So please just get your realization. Forget the past. May God bless you. I would request you for a simple thing. We have to take out our shoes because the Mother Earth also takes away our problems. She is very helpful. Even the light is helpful. Now some people ask why the light. Even this little light is so helpful if it is about. Just take out your shoes. Just to take help from the Mother. It's very simple. Now you have to put your both the hands towards me like this in a very simple way. First of all, you should be comfortably sitting. There should be no discomfort so that when it is happening, you again get distracted. Just to sit comfortably, have easy sitting, no tightening in the neck or uncomfortable tightening. It's all right if you can feel comfortable.